Good morning, everyone, and happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Hopefully, you have an amazing weekend.
Yes, ma'am.
Anyone would like to share what you did over the weekend? Did you do anything interesting?
I don't know what
You play soccer.
I went to church service yesterday.
Softball, church services, you hang out with your friend,
Work. Oh, I don't got no friend.
That's nice.
Slapping at me.
cook. Did you celebrate Easter?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, how was it?
It's alright.
Hmm?
I didn't do
It
that.
was good.
I
Okay,
was
cool.
just wet.
Alright, thank you all for sharing. The plan for today, we're gonna do lesson 8. And our learning goal for lesson 8 is on the board as usual. So we're gonna be using area of diagram to reason about product of two sums and write equivalent expression. And we will also use the distributive properties to help us write equivalent expression. So you will need a calculator, you will need your workbook. You have your workbook.
Odd.
You're gonna be on
Already
page,
writing on page 69.
which one is?
69 already
Yeah,
has writing.
that's where we're gonna be. You already have,
I was already writing. What?
is it your book or?
We did not do that last time.
Yes, this is.
my book.
Okay. So we're gonna be on page 69. Everyone please open your workbook to page 69. Okay, so I'm gonna provide, let's say, 4 minutes. You are to complete question 1 and 2. It's just our warm-up. So we have here a diagram. This is the diagram, and question 1, you are to explain why this expression or equations, I wanted to say, represent the diagram. And then on question 2, you will draw your own diagram that will also show this equation or show that the two expressions are equivalent. Okay, 4 minutes. We will come back together to share out. Where's your book?
How to do this? Get up my book, but I don't know how to do it.
You do know how to do it.
I don't. I don't understand.
If you struggle, think about how we find the area of rectangle. If you struggle. Times what and what? Yep. You know how to do it. What's the side? 7. So you do 6 times 3, 6 times 7. So it's 6 times 4 is what you say. You see that here? Can you tell me more how you say, like, when you distribute? Okay. So how do you, yes, I see what you say, you distribute, look at that. How do you see this using the diagram? want to see the x's.
Oh.
Can you come and draw this and I take them back together? Raise your hand. We are coming back together in 3, 2, 1. Anyone would like to share what you come up with? For number 1, question 1. Who would like to explain? Anyone? How do you see that diagram with the equation? How does the equation represent the diagram?
Because 6 is the width, right?
6 is the,
The width.
so 6 is the width, okay. So you said 6 is the width, I'm not gonna write anything.
And
What else?
the length is 3 plus 4.
The length is 3 plus 4. Okay, so you're finding what? What are you finding? The area of which diagram? This big shape?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we have Manuel here identified that the width here, it is 6, and then the length here will be 3 plus 4. So if we're finding the area of this big shape here, what's the area of the rectangle? What's the formula to find the area of the rectangle? We did that in the previous lesson. How do we calculate the area of the rectangle again? Amina? Length times width. So we will do the length times the width, and that's this over here. 6 times 3 plus 4. Right here represent what? The area of the big shape. Okay? So what's another way we can find the area of this shape? You have, how many shapes do you see here? Is it 2? Okay, so we have this small rectangle and another rectangle. So what's the area of this one? What's the area of the one that I just drew with in red? The area of this one. How would you calculate? You said 18. How did you get 18? 6 times 3. Right here, which is 18. Very good. And what would be the area of this one? 24. Wesley? Okay, so which is 6 times 4. Do you see that expression right here? Okay, so that's how you can find, that's one way, or that's how you could explain that expression. Anyone has a drawing for question number 2? Yes, and can you come up and draw what you have, please? Thank you so much. Any question? Any question? Anyone has something different? Or anyone drew differently? Raise your hand if you have the same picture as Ed. Okay, good. Anyone has something different? Alright, we're gonna move on to the next activity, 8.2. Still on page 69, and we are still using the diagram, and this time we will start on question 2 using the distributive property. You can remind us, what's the distributive property again? You saw that with Jada and Diego activity the other day. You can remind us the distributive property. Or what do we do when we do the distributive property? Before you start activity number 2. Anyone? Okay, just a quick reminder, when you do the distributive property, you multiply the number out with the number in. So I'm going to give you first of all 2 minutes to complete question number 1, and then we will do question number 2 together. One question number 2 together. So 2 minutes for question number 1. Please read. If you struggle, look at your warm-up. But the name should be what? What's your name? Yeah. So see this part that you added? Where was it? Yeah, so you have right here, you should have. What should you have here? Very good, yeah. Raise your hand if you have finished the first question. Raise your hand if you need more time. Okay, 1 more minute. I see 2. Where's your phone? Is that what we have here? Okay. So, think in the, I like the N, but on this side, what should be there? Okay, and very good. Hallelujah. Have you read? What's the problem? So read first. Very good. All right, I see a lot of beautiful answers. Who would like to come up and draw your diagram for question number 1? So number 1 here says, draw a diagram to show that n times 2n plus 5 and 2n squared plus 5n are equivalent expressions. Anyone would like to come up and share your answer? Please. I saw a beautiful answer. I don't want to call on someone. Any volunteer? Giovanni, could you please share your answer? Okay, thank you. So how does that diagram, Giovanni, how does that diagram show that n times 2n plus 5 and n, 2n squared plus 5n are equivalent? Can you tell us?
I don't know how to explain it.
You don't know how to explain it?
I don't know if you guys can do it.
So right here, the n times 2n plus 5, again, as in the warm-up, we have the big rectangle here. Once the area of that big rectangle is gonna be length times width, that will give us this expression. So n times 2n plus 5 will be equals to what? The area of this small square here, which is 2n squared, okay? And the area of this one, which is 5 times n, 5n. Now, since we are looking for the area of the two small rectangle, that's gonna be what? 2n squared plus 5n. Okay? Any question? Any question? Okay, so on question number 2, we're gonna do the distributive property. So for each expression, use the distributive property to write an equivalent expression. If you get stuck, consider drawing a diagram. So together we will do A, and I will release you to complete B, C, and D. So distributive property again is multiplying the number outside your parentheses. So we're gonna multiply 6 times this, 1/3 of n times, and then you take 6 also, you multiply by 2. Okay, so you take all your number outside the parentheses and you multiply, and so it's like expanding your expression. So what is 6? So this is gonna be 6 times 1/3 of n plus 6 multiplied by 2. Okay. What is 6 multiplied by 1/3? What is 6 times 1/3? What is 6 times 1/3? 12. I mean, I think it's 12. How do you get 12? 6 multiplied by 1/3. What is it? 2. Okay. This sometimes a lot of you get frustrated. I will hear people, Miss Miller, how do I put this number on the calculator? The fraction is just division. Okay? So if you struggle, please do 1 in your calculator. 1 divided by 3, and then you times it by 6. That will give you the answer. Okay? So that's 2n plus, what's 6 times 2? 12. Okay? Any question? Any question? Okay, if there's no question, please go ahead and complete B, C, and D.